of the study tips, gate study tips and preparations that I followed during my gate preparation. So if you find this implementing your gate preparation strategy as well. Uh, so first I will start with the exam preparation strategy. That is, even before you start studying for the exam, what you need to know. So the number of months left, like you guys have 6 months left right now. So I think that's quite enough to learn everything and practice. Next, that you should know is the syllabus and the subjects. Whichever IIT is conducting the GATE exam, they usually share this. So I'm sure you guys must be knowing that. And the GATE exam pattern and the marking scheme. Apart from this, the most important thing is the books that you follow. And I'm sure the mentors must have told you which books you are going to follow. And since they have been doing this for a while, so they have quite experience. And please take their advice and follow the books that they have told you for studying. Because the concepts in those books are pretty good. Even I followed those books. The next is practice and revision. Obviously, that is all about the gate preparation. First, we will share some study tips. So, if you are a note-making kind of person and you learn that way, then I will share here. Even I made notes. But if you are like you highlight stuff in the book and then you study, that's also fine. But the problem with me was when I used to highlight and revise, I used to go through everything. Like I will not only read the highlighted portion, but I'll go to other topics as well, which I did not highlight. So that was the problem. And so yeah, in note making, you can write notes from all the books, okay, that mentors have suggested, and the online resources. Like for some topics, we have to refer to online resources like NPTEL and other websites or your class notes. So your notes will be an aggregate of all of these things, and try to make it short and simple. And when you are writing the notes, uh, study the concepts and then write it. Just don't copy and paste because that is not a good way of learning stuff. So what I did was in some of my notes I wrote the concepts based on the book chapters. Like for aerodynamics, I wrote the topics from the book and then wrote the concept regarding that. Or in some other notes, I wrote syllabus topics, like whatever was mentioned in the syllabus according to the sequence of topics that were in the syllabus. I wrote that. Mention all the formulas and equations in your notes. Don't miss out anything. Even when you are practicing from different resources, the practice tests or the gate papers, you will come across some questions that are new or some concepts that you just incorporate those into your notes. And in the end of those notes, I added gate paper solutions, like subject wise. So, for example, 2018 gate paper, whatever, an aerodynamics subject. So, whatever questions were there in the 2018 gate paper regarding aerodynamics, I wrote all those the solutions of all those in my notes. And whenever I'm revising, I will refer back to those solutions. It became easier that way. No need to write all the 1 mark questions because some of them are pretty obvious, but only the ones that you think are important, you can write that. And 2 marks, obviously, they are very important. Next tip is study schedule and to-do list. Uh, this I did because it kind of gives you a satisfaction at the end of the day that you have studied this much and you are aware of how much you have done, how much you have studied. Like my plan was by the end of this week or by the end of by this date I will complete this much of the syllabus, and this was helpful for me. Even while making this list, you have to be practical enough. Just don't write you don't put 5 6 things in one list, because then you won't be able to complete that on time. Don't be disappointed if you don't uh, complete a task in one day. You can shift that to the other day, and that is also fine. Third tip is spend time on topics based on their difficulty levels. So some concepts you might find that they are easy, and some you might not be able to understand well. So you spend more time on that, and don't forget about other topics. But the thing is, you have to be able to properly understand the concept before proceeding to any other topic. So that's that. Okay. Next is practice tests. I have emphasized this with 4 exclamatory marks because that is very important. From my experience of 2018 and 2019, I have seen that the difference between the two preparation was in 2018, I did not practice that much. I focused more on revising the theory. But in 2019, since I've already learned everything and I mean revised everything in 2018 so many times, I practiced many tests from many resources. And this is how even I came across IIT and GATE classes online test series. And Dinesh sir was very kind to even add me to the WhatsApp group to share my doubts. And he also shared the assignment problems with me. So yeah, this is very important. Practice, keep practicing while you're revising. Next is time management. This is something I struggled with because even though I know everything and I'm solving, but the thing is, I'll not be able to solve half of the questions, and that was the problem. So the more you practice, the more you will acquaint yourself with the time. Uh, for okay, gate calculator. I will suggest that when you are practicing, you use a gate calculator and not just on your mobile phones, but like on your laptop or computer using a mouse because the actual gate exam you'll obviously be using that. So it's better to practice that way because then you won't take time pressing the button and making mistakes in the calculator, right? Third is aptitude. Don't ignore aptitude. Most of us think that it's easy and we'll be able to go through it, so I'll study it at the end. Don't do that. It's even fun to solve it. So if you keep like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour for each day to practice aptitude, that is very helpful. And aptitude gives you good scores. If you know all the answers, you can score 15 marks pretty easily. So don't ignore aptitude. Lastly, you have to analyze and learn from your mistakes. That is when you do these practice tests just and solve them and get your marks and you just don't keep it aside. You look at the questions, what you did wrong, why you did it wrong, what was the concept you were not aware of, and then learn from the mistakes. Because this way you will learn. Our brain is kind of it functions that way. If you do a mistake, then the next time when you are solving that question, your brain will automatically remember that okay, last time I did this wrong, now I should not do this. So it's a good way of learning. Revision strategy after for revision, you can when even if your classes are going on and suppose half of your syllabus is complete in the classes, you can still keep revising side by side and don't wait for the class to end and then start revising. Just keep revising the concepts, and soon after you revise those concepts, you solve the questions based on those. So what I did was after studying a concept, I will go through book exercises and the assignment problems that sir shared with us. Um, Okay, and I have put stars next to these uh, topics is because while revising, sometimes what I suffered with was I have gone through those notes so many times that I will just read them and fall asleep. It's human nature. So I will not suggest that for you. When you are revising, just try to recall. Like you have gone through those notes, right? So you know which topic comes after what. Look at the topic and just don't look at the notes. Try to think what you studied in that, what were the formulas, what were the equations. This is kind of active recall, okay? And then you look back, okay, what you have missed. Then that way you won't be sleepy. And next, while solving questions, you will come across some very difficult problems, like sir said, in assignment problems, and you will think like, okay, these lengthy questions are not going to come in grade, so why should I study? Why should I even do this? I will go and do easy questions. Please don't do that. Solve the difficult questions as well, even though they are lengthy, because I'm sure you are taking this GATE exam because you want to go for higher studies or you want to apply for jobs. So you obviously want to learn each and everything that you can, because in the real life problems will be lengthy like this. And GATE is just objective, it's just to test you so that you can, proceed towards this master's or path or not. So solve these questions. If you are not able to solve, just ask for help. And I'm sure everyone is eager to help you in the coaching institute. So yeah, this was my revision strategy. What you should do during exam. First is, like I said, time management, keep track of time. And by keeping track of time, I don't mean that you just keep looking at the watch and don't pay attention to the question. Don't do that. Just be mindful of how much you have covered and how much time is left. Try to attempt maximum number of questions. This is even Dinesh sir before our exam. He suggested that you solve more than 55 questions. There are total 65 questions, right? So you solve more than 55 questions, I think, because ultimately your rank will depend on the score that you get out of 100. So don't think about rank and all. That is a byproduct. You should think about the score that you are going to get. Like in 2018, I got 656 out of 1000, which is not a pretty good score. Even if you look at the rank, which is 81, you might think that, okay, she must have got somewhere, some college, but no, that's not a good score. So out of 100, you can have keep a goal in mind, like okay, above 80 or even above 90. So that way you will be able to solve maximum number of questions. So don't attempt the questions which you are not sure of, and everybody says that, and that's true. Only attempt those questions which you are 100% sure that, okay, this is what I studied, and there's no possible way that this question is going to be wrong. So I attempted in 2019 58 questions out of 65. Yeah. The rest were, I think, lengthy, or I didn't get time to solve them. No, I got time, but not lengthy. Okay. NAT questions, numeric answer type questions are very important because you can easily score marks in these questions, right? So uh, don't skip them, try to solve them, and beware of the trick questions. So there is a very interesting question in 2019, which is a trick question, and I really wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know if you have gone through it. So is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, visible.
Yeah, okay. So this is question number 45. Uh, I don't know if you've studied this topic or not, but here, if you see, they have given you the velocity ratio, right? VA by VE, and they said that it's equal to 2. And what they are asking is you have to find the thrust F divided by M dot VE. Already they have given the condition that it's optimally expanded. So you know that PE is equal to PA, right? So what I kept thinking was, what is the use of this ratio VA by VE? Where I'm going to use it? And I spent a lot of time there, but it was such an easy answer. There was no use of this ratio. F by M dot VE is 1, and it's a NAT type question, so we can get 2 marks easily, right? So this is what I am talking about. Beware of such trick questions. Now, I'm not saying that all questions will be like this, that they will give you some additional information which you will not require. This is not the case. They always give you enough data, appropriate data that you want to, that you might need while solving the question. But sometimes these questions might appear. So that's why I said beware of those trick questions. Okay, next are some other tips. You might find these tips very cliched, but they are very important, and they go hand in hand with your gate preparation. You have to maintain good health. You don't want to be ill and not be able to study, drink more water, eat good food, move around, do some sort of exercise, to just keep your stress away. And do not compare yourself with others. Do not compare your progress with others' progress because everyone's path is different. Do not be disappointed by the marks you score in these practice tests because right now you are just learning and just enjoy the learning process and don't be disappointed. Do not keep quiet and ask all questions that you have. Clarify all your doubts. If even a single doubt, if you don't ask, then the whole concept that you have in your mind might be wrong, right? Clarify doubts. All the sirs are very helpful. You can ask in your WhatsApp groups. Other students will also help you. And if you're asking doubts, you should help others too. This is a good way of revision. If some student posts a question in the group and you know the answer, like go through it, try to think what you have studied, and just answer. And if you don't know, that's okay. Even if you give wrong answer, that's okay because ultimately someone will correct you. So these are all the tips that I could share, and I think I've completed covered every tip, but if you still have questions, you can ask. And last but not the least, you have to believe in yourself. Otherwise, there's no point of you even trying to take the GATE exam, right? You have to believe that you can do it. There's a good quote by Jim Quick that I like a lot. You can Google him later when you see. So he says that it's not how smart you are, but how are you smart? So think about that for a minute. How are you smart? What makes you smart? These things, the strategy that you follow, your hard work, your perseverance, your persistence. So all these things matter, and don't think that you cannot do it. You can definitely do it. You just have to be patient and enjoy learning. Just don't overthink and take it like all the stress that I have to complete in this GATE exam. Just enjoy the learning process. So thank you, and if you have any questions, you can ask.
So I will share a few points about Mega. Uh, so the one thing which I liked most about Mega was sincerity towards exam. I still remember she has written almost every exam twice. Okay, so that made her, how to strategize, exam and how to, perform in, pressure situation. Second thing which I observed was she was taking whatever assigned time, even in second attempt also. See, suppose one exam is for minutes, she has written exam almost for 45 minutes, not just closing exam in 5-10 minutes. There are people, they do second attempt, but quickly they remember some answers, they will close exam. So there is no point to write, second attempt in that hurry. That is another thing. And the good thing, she joined early us, even she joined as a distance learner. I think if I remember, in August month itself Mega had joined us. Then she was writing exam very sincerely. Then I really liked the kind of sincerity, and then we shared our assignments, and there also she was very good in practicing questions, used to share doubts in our WhatsApp group. And Mega, one good thing, IGC WhatsApp groups are very good, the participation, and we keep healthy and good competitive environment in institute, and we are open for learning. Nobody hide their their learning. So that is advantage for anyone whoever join as a distance learner. And one more thing which I always did, I try to motivate, almost I do with many people, whoever I find they are really sincere, just not to worry about marks, keep analyzing whatever marks you get in exam, because end of the day you have to get good marks in GATE exam. It's not in our exam. Our exam is more, you learn out of that. It is not how much you score out of that. So these are the few things. And another good thing is still see, today she is with us, though she is in ISC Bangalore. So that is another thing with IGC. We are always connected with our students. That's our strength, and we are very happy. And in fact, you guys remember, Mega, I came and we met in ISC. So I went, somewhere, and I felt very happy because luckily you all four were at same place in ISC. But the bad thing, we didn't even capture a single picture that day. Right. So I told Manoj we could have taken few pictures and shared. So these are the things which keep motivating us to do more. And now you guys can ask questions, and I request you can on your webcam so they can see. Uh, yeah. Yes, guys. Quickly, you guys can ask your questions. You guys can write in chat box as well. Yes, Sachin. You had all these questions, right? So you want any particular clarification on that? Yeah, uh, that is one question.
Okay, so I solved questions from Canodia. Yeah, and I solved it, I think, twice or thrice, and they have very good questions in those papers.
Yeah,
So,
Kanodia Publication, Jaipur. Yeah, uh, they I think have gate books combined questions from different branches.
yes,
So that is a really good resource, and we have some more resource open resource apart from our assignments. So that Nitesh can help you. One good thing you guys can make, I will add, that was shared by one of our sir, Deepak sir from CSC branch. He told whatever subject he has completed during gate preparation, when he was learning next subject, he used to solve 4 5 questions every day from that previous subject.
yes,
So the naturally revision was happening. So mathematics is a subject where you're not required to revise theory more. You
yes,
have to solve more problems.
every day.
So yeah, so that way, and Google is the kind of resource where too many things available, at least for mathematics. So you guys just search out particular topic, try to find out questions. You'll find plenty of the questions apart from what we shared. So keep now almost we completed one time mathematics mega for batch one. Now we move to aptitude. So these guys must not lose any marks from aptitude and mathematics if they aim top 10 kind of rank. So that's good. Yeah, one question is there, which subject to give more weightage initially?
I think these subjects basically mentors tell you that which are difficult subjects, or you can whichever subject you think is difficult for you, you can give weightage to that, and also look at the syllabus. I think IIT Bombay this time they are, I don't know which IIT is conducting.
Yeah,
They share,
Bombay.
yeah, they share like the weightage of all these subjects. Am I right, sir?
Yeah,
So
actually, yeah,
how
but
many questions?
yes, yes, but like they divide in special and core actually 90 and 10%. But sometime I feel they do not follow as well because this happens. But subjects like strength of material, which this year 9 questions came. That is one of the hot subject. Then propulsion, flight mechanics, all core subject they ask reasonably well. Uh, they ask less questions from basic subjects like fluid, thermo. Almost they are not asking many time. So
Space mechanics
yeah,
also.
space dynamics. Your time they ask 4 5 questions. Now they have removed half of the syllabus this time. That orbit maneuver part they have removed actually. So what I will suggest, as I told Sachit, focus more on core subject practice, though you learn basics well. Okay, so you have to practice very well. Either it is a aircraft performance part, aircraft stability part, propulsion has two part: jet propulsion, rocket propulsion. But see, in structures, if you take the main core is thin walled, but they are not asking many questions. Like sometimes one question they ask, sometimes they haven't asked. But that subject is very important if you work in industry in aerostructure domain. So you have to learn everything, but uh, you can plan down the line based on the previous years. If you see the question pattern, you'll get some idea, and we have made some statistic on that. We will share that as well. Yeah, one more questions, can you read, Mega? What is that?
How much revision of each subject should be done before GATE? So there's not a count of how many times you have to revise. Just keep revising till January, till the exam time, and yeah, make sure that you are thorough with the subject, and any question that they ask, you will be able to solve. You should have that confidence. So revise according to that.
Yeah, I will add one more thing. See, ideally you should be in position to revise everything in 3 days. Okay, because before exam, 10 days before exam, you should try to revise 3 times the whole syllabus. So how you can revise? It's very simple. You should have a very proper your own notes where all the formulas and important points should be listed, and also parallel you should write down what kind of mistakes you are making more. So you should be aware, to avoid such mistakes. So basically revision is depends on how best you plan from now itself. Otherwise it will take whole a lot of time to revise when you do not have proper smart steps. So make sure you make your own steps handy. So, and more you revise, more and more you will remember. Your mind will be refreshed, you know to solve questions quickly, because when questions comes, automatically your mind will revise what is required, which formula, but it should come quickly. That will depends on freshness of revision. So that's what it is. And I think how many times revision is 3 4 times you have to revise in last 20 days the whole syllabus. And one more thing I will tell, there were many people, they keep exam till last date. I have seen people writing exam on 31st January. That is ideally very bad thing, because that time you should, after 25th, you should not write many exam. Keep your mind fresh and just do revision, revision, revision. Okay, so that's very important to prioritize your exam part and finish exam as early till 25th of January. Yeah, next question, can you take up?
Can we get familiar with the concepts in the initial months without solving problems? And in the last 2 to 3 months, practice all problems. Is that a good way of preparation? Uh, you can familiarize yourself with the concepts in the initial months, but you should solve the questions along with those concepts, because if you just read it, then you are going to forget it. And they don't ask theory questions in GATE exams. I mean, the long ones. They ask you may like solvable questions more. So I would suggest that you practice along with the concepts.
Yeah, so I will add one more thing. If you cannot, if you have time limit, able to solve assignments, but I will say make sure you guys write exam, because when you write exam you may get less marks. That is different thing, but at least you will come to know every week where you lag, what kind of questions you have to practice, what all concept you require to know, and what all mistakes you are doing under pressure situation. Because it's like we have to get accustomed how to perform in under pressure, and that's what the India's education system. You
And
have to go through.
yes, sir. And the more you practice, the easier it will be for you to solve the GATE exam.
So please, guys, even our other team member has suggested the same. Yeah, one more. How to do test analysis after giving each test?
So you will check which answers you have done correctly and which answers you have done incorrectly, and then you will look at the concept if you know which where it is in the book, and try to solve it again. But still, if you don't know, have no clue about how to solve, then you can ask your doubts to sir.
Yeah, you are the right person to tell this, because I have seen, as we mentioned already, you have written every exam again to check whatever you have learned you remember or not, or in particular time frame you can solve or not. Right.
Yes.
So, Sachit, see, that's where another, thing with IGC, we never solve, share the solution part intentionally. Okay, because many people, they ask when they want to join test series, do you provide solution? We say strictly no, because this is the rule we have set and we are following. We are supporting doubt support there, right? And anyway, our class students, our team member, everyone is there, so they get good support. Now the test analysis, Sachit, is very simple. Once, like, you get your result sheet, you go and find out first what all mistakes you have done, because it will give some of the questions in red, right, which all you have done but is still wrong. So let's go there and try to find out. And almost every questions has concept which is there in books, in our class notes, or in our teaching, or in IGC material. So three things you try to find out: what data is given, what is unknown, and what formula we know, and just try to figure out how you can use that available formula to get the whatever answer is written. Hardly in a few cases the answer may be wrong, and we are happy if you can find out, because that's where you are at right path. Whenever someone say yes sir, your answer is wrong, I say you are at right path, because you have learned right thing. So that's now some questions you have not attended. So for that, again, the process will be similar. Go through given data, find out what is unknown and what formula you know, and then go through class notes, IGC notes, or reference books. If you cannot do at all, then share in our doubt groups, and we figure out, right, your fellow mate or we ourselves. If none of them are able to do it, then it's our responsibility, we have to do. In some cases, since it's a big teamwork at IGC, we know for this exam, 20 people got involved, from different. So there can be some questions, hardly few percentage of that, which is like out of box, which is, too far from gate exam, but it not many. So these are the points, guys. But analyzing exam is equally important like writing exam. What you say, Mega, on
Yes,
this?
sir. Yes, sir. I do think that is a good.
Yeah. And one more problem student do, what they do, they will write overnight all the exams. Means they will not write for 1 month, and one fine day they will write 10 exam. That's very, that's not right idea. Because if you write all the exams in single day, when you will analyze, how you will remember what kind of mistakes you have done in each exam. So that is not right strategy. You have to keep writing exams at a regular interval, not like one day together. And Mega, there are guys, they will skip all basic exam and they will jump one exam which is from core, and they will secure very less marks. I've seen one guy has not written any exam this time itself. I will give example. He directly jumped to GD exam, which we are now teaching. So this, they are mature enough, right? They should not do such things. You guys all matured. Okay, so follow what we suggest. If you find something better, that's good. But what I say, always complete all basics exam as early, So you will be confident in basics where weightage is less, and then you can more focus on core, because as core are derived from basics, right? Somewhere concepts will be useful directly, indirectly. So these are the few things you guys have to take care. Yeah. Anybody else? Mr. Himansu, any question? You can. Yeah.
Sir, sometimes when I took a break during the studies,
Yeah.
and to coming back to the studies, it becomes so stressful, or like it's become so hard. Like I'm facing this problem in this
Yeah.
duration.
Mind is reluctant, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Make how
it
to
becomes
keep.
so tough job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to keep train mind, which makes study interesting for many. This is the issue.
Even I suffered with this, but you have to motivate yourself every day. I did that, and not it's not like always you'll feel that way, but you have a goal, right? Everyone has a goal in their life, and you know what you want to do. So just think of that, why you are doing this, why you are taking the exam, and just don't think of anything else and start studying. Even if you don't feel like it, don't give much thought into how you are feeling, but just uh, start studying, and eventually you will be able to study, because the starting process is the difficult part, right? And when you're studying, then you don't want to get up halfway, because obviously you have started studying. So yeah, that's just it's a like habit makes you do stuff like studying regularly. So make a habit.
Yes, habit is very important. You see, if you practice something 10 times, 11 times, naturally it will happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you have to make your mind habitual. Another thing I will tell, some people, start studying and they just study for half an hour, 1 hour. That is, I will say it's not useful. Wherever you study, at least you study 2 to 3 hours in stretch. You know, so you will start getting concentration, interest, some kind of out of that period which you study. So try to study as long as you can. Okay, can say you can take water, tea, or anything, but don't go in watch TV after half an hour or 1 hour. It will distract you. So that is another thing, and you guys have to keep all the distraction away. So frequent this kind of mind fluctuation will not happen. You can do regularly meditation, some chanting. In my gate preparation, I was too much distracted, some 20 days before exam, or some 25 days. Then I started chanting of Gayatri mantra, you know because my mind was not getting focused, or it was kind of some interest was not coming. So slowly my mind got cooled down, and I got concentration, interest. And then when you have goal, right, that will motivate. I want to get best rank to go get in IIT or whatever. There will be many dream, but dreams will come true only with work. Work should happen. So first, to get start working, that is the key. So whichever method get applicable to you, please try, apply it, and keep working. Then only dream will come true. Yeah. Chaitanya, you want to
Yes,
ask anything?
yeah.
Himanshu? Yeah.
I am from a mechanical background, and as well
Yeah.
as I'm doing a small job. So
Okay.
definitely, the time management is a very critical task for me,
Mm.
uh, which has having equal importance with studies. So can you give me some guidance regarding the time management during this work from home situation, and how can I plan for the study? Some guidelines, please.
Okay, so I did not have a job back then when I was preparing. So I I don't think I'll give a best answer for this, but still I will try to answer it. Like you are working from home, so you probably have a scheduled time, right, to work from this time to this time. So you do your work till that time, and then you can start studying. The rest of the time you can study. Devote more more of your time to gate. And yes, so you want to add anything to that? Because I'm not.
See, I will add a few points, Chaitanya, on your question. See, if you are working and if you are college student, then your smart study will be very much important. Smart study means you should not study same thing many times because you do not have much time, right? So whenever you study, make sure you make your proper notes, what all required from that book. So like that, planning will be important, Chaitanya. In limited time, you do smart study, okay? Because you cannot put more time in learning. You have to practice also. So learn quickly, make your notes, and then jump to practice part, okay? And consistency. So if you make consistency, then only, Chaitanya, you will have, what desired result you are looking for. See, if someone preparing 100%, then sometime if they do not study, fine, because they will compensate with more time in the upcoming days. But for you, that won't be the case. So you have to balance what work you do, make a schedule for that, and best what I suggest sometime, try to study before you work, okay? So you'll not have tension during your work, so quickly you can finish your work job, and then again you can study. To try to get up early morning, study for 2 3 hours, then you will have the good feeling. Yes, I have already studied, and then you work, and then efficiently you work, finish your work, again jump to study, get up early. So these are the things you have to follow regularly.
Sure, sir.
And
I will
yeah,
definitely try.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah. Thank you. So anybody else? Any question?
Hema Gayatri has raised her hand.
Yeah, please ask.
Hi, sir. Hi, Mega. So, this is a small extension to the previous question which Chaitanya has asked. Even I'm working. So, only thing that becomes difficult for me is to, like, say, managing time. Can you suggest, like, minimum number of hours? Like I feel it difficult because some days I don't get time at all to open my gate books or prepare, and only on 2 weekends I burden myself so much, and I feel uh, I understand things, but then again I'm stressed out. Ki, okay, am I putting so much information? What if I forget and all? So, is there a specific, like, at least these many hours a day would do fine?
Yeah. So I didn't study that way, like how many hours I have to study. As I told, make a study schedule or to-do list, right? So you have a goal in mind, like I told, by the end of the week or by this date, I should have completed this much, and then you find out time in your schedule, like in the week, like which day at what time you can solve, like study. And yeah, so don't stress out too much. And weekends is a good time to study. I mean, you have the entire day to yourself, so you plan out. Planning is important, what you have to study, how much you have to complete, and then you will be able to do it.
Hema, I will add one thing. Please study before you start working. It is very simple. Initial days, you may find it typical to get up early, but try 1 or 2 day, and try to study before you start your job. Then what will happen during your work? Now you will be happy. You will not have this tension. Today I have to study after work. So the efficiency will increase. So try, if possible, okay, to study before you start working. So that way, what will happen? Every day you study, every day your work will be good. Quickly you will finish your task, and since now this work from home is there for everyone almost. So what will happen? Sometime it may get extended your working hours. Then you will feel frustrated. Today I planned my study, but I couldn't do because 2 days my work got extended. But if you have studied before your work itself, then that worry will not be there. Okay, so that may help you. Okay, but the only constraint, you guys have to get up too early. Suppose your office starts at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, you have to get up 5 o'clock, study till 8 o'clock. then just get ready and then start working. And you will finish your work till 5 o'clock itself, if you do not have a particular meeting and other stuff. So that's what I suggest personally, and I have done some point of time in my career, getting that early during my initial days of college life. I used to do yoga, get up, even winter that early. Then what another good point will be, when you get up early, your day will be very big. You will feel today is my day is so long, I can do many things. But when we get up late, then everything will be pressurized. That's what, even nowadays when I get up early, I feel today is a longer day. Of course, day is the same, 12 hours whatever, from 7 to 7. So some habit you guys have to do, if particularly other than get to do something. Yeah, some more questions, Mega.
What are the advantages of subject-wise tests, or we should skip to full-length tests after completing the syllabus, after completing topic-wise tests as well? So yeah, as I said, that when you have revised or read a concept, it's better to just straight away go to the topic-wise test, because that will be a test to your preparation, how much you have understood that concept. Then subject-wise, like if you have decided that you will do two subjects or three subjects in a day, so that day, if you have completed studying the subjects, then you can take the test, and then in the end you take the full length test. So everything goes hand in hand. You study and you take tests.
See, Pushakar, I will add my point on this. See, every pattern of exam is very important. Even we have module-wise exam. See, why I have particularly designed this way, because initially you remember certain things, then certain things in plus certain things plus certain things become a subject. So you have to remember whole subject, and you have to test out how much you remember in that subject, right? So that is why subject wise exam is also important, because what happen, you are studying propulsion and you will forget what is there in structures. So that subject wise exam will make sure you remember that subject. Now after subject wise we have module wise exam also. Module wise exams means what? Similar kind of subject. So all those subject you revise together and write an exam. Okay, so that's how these are important. And of course, again I'm saying, many people struggle in January month to write all those exams. So those exams are not meant for January month, they are meant only for December month. January is only for full syllabus exams, and ideally you should write at least 10 plus full syllabus exam, and every 3 days one exam. So full syllabus exams has 65 questions, and there is no point to write an exam without revision initially. See, without revision you will get demotivated, because you will do many mistakes, you will not remember all the formula. So always make sure whenever you write any exam, if you are not very thorough, please do proper revision, write exam. Okay, but do not prolong. Learning will never end. That is also right. We have infinite learning, so you have to have satisfied with certain learning and write exam, because writing exam is a key. Yeah. Now another question is there. After completing topic-wise test.
So that's over.
Okay. Next, what is that?
Is there a way to find that tricky question which consumes time so that we can skip to the next question? Okay. If a tricky question comes your way, and if you think it's consuming time, then you should skip to the next question. And I think that's what I did with that question which I showed. I don't remember if I did it correctly or not. That's why that question was bugging me. Anyway, you don't, if it is consuming a lot of time, then just skip to the next question. And after you have done all the questions, and if you still have some time left, then you go back to the tricky question. Because chances are you will be able to solve other questions, and you have spent so much time on that one question that now you will lose all the marks, right? So yeah, skip to the next question.
So the ideal way which we suggest to our students, go through complete paper multiple times. You should not try all the questions in one round. At least 3 rounds you should take through 65 questions. What happens, Mega? Sometimes some questions when we read it won't click to our mind. It may click after 5 minutes when we are doing some other question. So always make sure in first 1 hour, half an hour, do not spend in any questions more than 2 to 3 minutes. No use of spending in any gate questions more than 2 to 3 minutes. When you have solved all the questions which you can solve, then last half an hour you can spend, because that time you are not having anything to do. Then you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you are confident. But make sure first 1 hour or 2 hour, not more than 2 to 3 minutes. Even in our mock exam, please do this practice from these mock exam itself. Never ever spend in any questions initially half an hour, 1 hour or 2 hour more than 2 to 3 minutes. One more question is there. What about impact of previous year's questions in GATE 2021? Can we expect some model of questions from past GATE exams?
So where's the question?
It is before. You scroll up. I think it is a privately asked to, I'm not sure, me. See, Padma, in GATE concepts, repeats. Many questions, almost 60% sometimes questions are repetitive based concept. So concept will be, repetitive, but question won't repeat. Okay, question will have new question, new data, new kind of language they will use. The concept will remain same. Many questions will, if you take logarithmic decay, how many times they have asked? You take any stress function, many times they have asked questions on that. If you take bending moment diagram, many questions are there for bending moment diagram. If you take what we say, because I am from structures, so I remember those subjects more. But there will be a certain number of questions where concept will be repeated. So previous year's questions is very important. And more thing, do not follow any solution for previous year's questions, guys. That's the worst thing you can do. Previous year's questions you must solve on your own by using any book, any reference, IGC notes or anything, because that's how you'll get confidence. The GATE questions will be more of same standard. So if you can solve previous year's questions without anybody's help, that means you are on right path. That is, path checking way. Yeah. So some more questions is there, Mega. They are asking now many questions.
Following routine out of traditional work, one can work like night study.
Yeah, Himanshu, not to worry. Our Deepak sir he told, you have to study, doesn't matter you study in day or night. Yes, Mega, what you say?
Yes, sir, because I also know some people who are like night owls and can study at night. So if you can do that, then that's good. But try to study during exam times. Usually we have 8 exam slots like morning time and afternoon time. Aerospace students usually get afternoon time. But anyways, to make sure you are studying during that time or doing something like your brain is active, because if you make this a habit, then on the exam day your brain will be active even during those times.
Yeah, that's very good point. So one point was Sam was told by Mr. Sairam in previous talk. He used to write mock exam during that period, 2 to 5. Okay, so we have 10 full syllabus exam. Guys, you assign 2 to 5 because that's the ideal time when GATE aerospace exam happens in that. So you also write full syllabus exam in that time frame. So you will be feeling I am sitting in GATE exam itself. So self maturity and sincerity will require for that. Otherwise, see, Himanshu, you study night or day or morning, afternoon, you have to study. It's very simple. In GATE, the Rishi Muni Funda works, but less. You have to study first. Okay. Yeah. Next questions. Can you take?
Can you tell me how to deal with weak subject? My FM is weak. Then how should I deal with this part? You have to, if it is weak, then you have to study more. And if you're not able to understand, then please ask your mentor, because if it is a weak subject, I think you are missing some understanding of the concepts, and that's why you think you are weak at that part. So yeah, if studying alone will help, but even still, if you're not understanding, then please do seek help from your mentor.
Yeah. Now, how to complete if we have any backlog topics?
So, can you answer that? No. Sir,
Yeah.
how
Hello,
to
Mega.
if any
Yeah.
backlog topics? So what is meant by
Mean-
backlog topics?
Means some topic he might not have studied, and means he planned something and it got escaped, something like that. I think. You keep buffer time. This concept was also given, this year's rank too. He told one good thing: you plan and keep some buffer time, because always, we will go out of planning in terms of completion. Some topics you may get something which may take more time. So keep buffer concept, buffer timing. You plan for 30 days and keep 5 days in buffer. Do not plan anything for that. What you say, Mega,
Yes,
on that?
yes, sir. I think
So that is the way forward.
okay.
Okay. See, for feeling active during 2 p.m., I think we wake up active mood during 11 a.m. Yeah, of course, you have to get up at least 2 hours early to get active by 2 p.m. I think 11 a.m. is not that early. It's already late. So you can get up 11 a.m. Get sleep by 4 o'clock, when our Rishi Muni used to wake up, and then you do it. No issue. You study. That is important. Yeah. Last questions we can take up.
Actually, I have taken admission late. I am listening to recorded as well as live lectures. How much time should I spend for recorded and live lectures and study after that every day?
Yeah, I think you ideally he will not have any time to study when he is working.
Yeah. But sir, he has to look at the lectures also.
Yeah. So, Chaitanya, there is no specific answer to this. You have to cover as early. That is the simple way.
You can speed up the lectures a little bit.
Yeah, you have to speed up your learning. And we do not have solution also, because you joined late. That's like nothing much can be done on that front. So only thing, you have to put more effort, reduce your luxury time of watching TV, news, social media, or whatever, friends, all those you sacrifice, and put more efforts.
Can still be done. It is achievable.
Yeah, of course. We are in August month. It's quite possible with the good efforts. Yeah. Any other questions? I think we have taken tricky. I think Mega, we
Sir.
have taken almost every questions. So fine, guys. Anybody else? Is it risky if I am hardly managing studying in two schedules, like class track and self-study track, to cover back? I don't know. What is his question, Himanshu? Two schedules like class track and self-study track to cover back.
Sir, like in some subjects, I lag behind the class, which the topics are running currently in the class. So I'm studying into
Yeah,
schedules
that's
like.
fine. Yeah, that you have to do. You have to manage both. Fine.
Okay, sir, but
So
sir, it's becoming
see,
hard
no,
for
no,
me.
no. See, at IGC, another good thing, Mega will
Yes.
complete syllabus 2 months advance, at least for these February and May, guys. So 2 months before, when we are completing syllabus, it's you can cover everything. But don't think I will cover when we complete syllabus. That should not be the attitude. You guys will see by October month, everyone will be in very good shape. Okay, at least earlier joining. July, July itself is just 1 month, right? We cannot promise, but 1 month we do prior everything. So you'll have, July guys has to be more cautious, and they should put, more efforts from beginning itself. So that's the way forward, guys.
Try to catch up with what is going on in that class, like
Yeah.
quickly.
So and one more, few changes they have done, Mega. Now third year student can write GATE exam. That is one thing. And they have introduced now, multiple choice, multiple answer questions. Well, one answers, all the above. Instead of all the above, there will two, options correct. So we have such provision, we will set up. As of now, we have not done any exam on that, but we will upcoming, this year we are going to take more full syllabus exams, and some more new exams will be coming. On there, we will implement. So that can be done. Instead of all the above, right? Option A and C can be correct, or A and B. So such questions can be made. But in negative marking is not there in those questions. So that is the good thing.
In MCQ.
Yeah, MCQ plus it is multiple choice, multiple answer. They call it as MSQ, multiple select questions.
Yeah, then that's good.
Yes. So anyway, they have reduced MCQ miserably, right? More of the questions are NAT, numerical answer type. Let's see this year the proportional of different kind of questions. So we'll see. So thanks, Mega. Thank you guys for joining this session. Hopefully it will be fruitful. Thanks a lot, Mega, again.
Thank you, sir.
See you soon in Bangalore. Once the pandemic is over, I will visit IISc back and spend some time with you guys. Thank you all. Thank you guys.